Hello, this is Jelly Bling. How are you today? Today's project, and actually the next 3 projects, are part of Avid Stampers. So if you order the bundle through me between now and June 1st, I would love to send you the next 3 card kits. So this will be one of them, and the other 2 will be coming in the next few days. But the bundle includes the stamp set, the dies, and masks. And that's what we'll be doing today to create this. Isn't that beautiful? So soft, kind of vintagey, and just a lot of fun to make. I can't wait to show you these masks. We did them before. There was another bundle that included masks, and again, it was flowers. But for some reason, I'm just really feeling it with these. And these are some new gems. So we'll be using layers of Beauty Bundle and perennial postage dies just for this black die right here. Okay, let's get started. So here is the item number, and I'll put that in the description of the video, but the item number is 163519. Then these are some new gems. They're kind of fun. Adhesive back texture dots. And they come in a little bit larger and smaller ones. I think it's perfect for this vintage feel. So we'll use those in a minute. Excuse me. We're going to use washi tape just to hold the masks in place. Pencil, I'll show you about that. Here are the papers. Oh. Look at this card. So Tony is having a hip replacement, and I thought it might be kind of fun if he received get well cards in the mail. Snail mail is always fun. So look at this. This is from Jan and Jonas Hoffman. That's the address. But look how pretty this is. Hip surgery, get well, beautiful papers. This is Everyday, I think this is Everyday Essentials flower. And I just used it, I should know that. But just look how pretty that is. I love the colors. Little bit of sponging. Wink Stella on here. So, Janice, if you are watching, thank you. You are Tony's very first card. And I'm not going to give it to him. Look at the little butterfly too. I think that was that designer paper that she cut that out from. Or maybe, I think it was a punch that fit that. But I'm going to save this for Monday to give it to him on Monday. When this came through, he goes, "Who is this?" And I said, "Oh, it's a friend, an online friend." He's like, "Oh, okay." Oh, and then she also lined the envelope. Look at that. Thank you. Okay, it's back on task. Put that there. This is for masking. Layers of Beauty decorative masks. And it comes with quantity 5 different masks, and we'll be using those, and I'll show you how to use them. So after we get done making this, you'll be like, I get it. I know how to make them. And in the catalog on page 57 shows the bundle. Right here, the bundle, and it comes with 3 pieces. Stamp set, dies, and masks. All 3 of them. You can get them separate. And you know, after making this card, the masks are beautiful all on their own. How much are the masks? $13. Okay. Keep that there. Okay, here we go. So let's do, oh, I should show you. Let's just do the masking, just because I had so much fun doing that. Okay, so here is mask number 1. Excuse me. And it says in the upper corner, which you can't see right here by this notch, number 1. And I'm not so sure it matters what order you do them in. And I cut my paper to 5 by 7. And it perfectly fits right here. But that means that I'm going to have to trim it to put it onto here, which is why we have the pencil. But then on the inside, I'm like, I don't need that big of a sheet of paper. So I did this one in a different way. Any way you do it, it will be fine, however you like. This one, there's not much waste. There's no waste. This one, there's a lot of waste, but it's very convenient, but you'll see. Okay, so the colors that we'll be doing are Petal Pink, Pretty in Pink, Flirty Flamingo. And then for the green, Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So my goal for all this is for it to be kind of soft, but you can have your colors really vibrant, however you like. But because I'm having this, can you see this over here, as a background, I'm aiming for real soft. Okay, load up your brush, and when you're loading it up on your blending brush, I like to go one direction, I'm going counterclockwise, and then go clockwise, and up and down, because you want the bristles to be fully covered with ink. And now, you can just make sure you don't have any blobs of ink on there. It's good. Then I'm softly going over all this. And I'm fine if there's areas that are really dark and others that are light. But when you go over your stencil, see how I'm doing it kind of soft? You could probably tell by how I'm holding it. That's just the look I'm going for with this one. If you can, go counterclockwise on the little holes and then clockwise. And I say that only because I wasn't doing that before, and then I was having like a white wall where I wasn't getting the ink, and that's because I was just going one direction. But I fully want to take advantage of this mask. I keep wanting to call it a stencil. And I want to have the whole outline that the mask gives. So before I put everything away, let's check this. Stay on there, washi tape. And look how pretty that is. Also, when you look at it, you could say, oh, you have some really dark areas and some that are a little bit lighter. That I like that. That's kind of my goal. And this one, I think I'm being a little bit more heavy-handed than that one. Okay, so we're done with Petal Pink. Let's move on to mask number 2. It's like, just imagine doing this in all different colors. Flowers come in all kinds of colors. Number 1, petal. Okay. Mask number 2. Oh, and then after you're done with them, you could just run them under water in the kitchen sink or wherever, and it will kind of clean them for you. So because I cut my paper to 5 by 7, the mask fits easily without having to line up anything. Okay, Pretty in Pink. So I'm going to do the same process here. And again, trying to keep it a little bit light. If you're like, wait a minute, you're going over the same thing, but the mask is kind of focusing in different areas, which I'll show you here in just a minute. And I think that if I did the stamp, the black outline of this, it would be really pretty and really in focus. But I was going for the background for this one. Okay, so let's see how this is looking. Stay on in place, mask. Okay, so you could see this part right here pretty good, but I think I need to redo or get heavier with ink on these two. And some of the masks, like this little piece right here, it's just kind of like an island sticking out there, but it's a little bit fragile. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Oh yeah, I got more ink there. I really don't see any pretty in pink here. I see it here, not so much on these little bits. So I'm going to close it again, try to get ink on these 3 areas. Okay, that should be good. And you know what, even if I kind of missed one of those, it's still going to turn out beautiful. Okay, mask number 3 is Flirty Flamingo. So I don't know that I have any stories today. I say that and then I go on into a story. Today, Coach Todd, the coach from high school where Tony is a bus driver, Tony had his last day as a bus driver for 3 months. Surgery is Monday. I think he was really excited about that. He goes, I'm going to turn off my alarm for 3 months. I'm like, well, I had to get up Monday. He goes, oh, I'll get up on time. But Coach Todd, he, when they were upgrading the football field and the crow's nest where they do the announcing, he's like, that's a part of my past. I want that. So he had the little, if it were on the ground, we would call it like a potting shed or just a little shed. I should check this first. And so it's been in the front of his house for a few years, but he was ready to let it go. Ooh, that's pretty. Can you see how pretty that is? Wow. I'd like to say this one is my favorite, but I always say that about all of them. So he's like, yeah, we're ready to get that out of the front yard. We've had time with it. It's all good. Mask number 4 in olive. So then we said to Evan and Michaela, who have chickens, that would, because it's part of his past too. Evan played football. Do you want, they call it the crow's nest, because Coach Todd is ready to let it go. It would be a perfect chicken house. And he said no. Anyhow, that's okay. I'm sure, I know that there's reasons why, and probably I'm missing them, but anyhow, long story short, today the crow's nest came over here in pieces, and it is ablaze in the yard. And it took 3 trips, and their dog, Minnie, who is another hound dog, she came over to play with Bo, and Bo had a bath on yesterday, so he was like all dapper looking. I think that's too light. Looking really bright and white and fresh. In dog world, I don't know if they'd be like, you don't smell like a dog, or if it would be like, you're pretty and white and you smell like a shampoo bottle. I don't know what they say in dog world, but they were playing today for a little while, which is good. Tony came in at lunch and he said, Bo is going to sleep so good tonight. Like, were they playing hard? I was in here doing this. Do you ever start doing things and then you get distracted? Like, see these little labels? I put them on my blending brushes. And then if I'm going to do a label, I'm going to fill up the max that I can fill it up. Because if I do little bits, there's about an inch and a half on either side that's just wasted. You know you can't waste. So then I'm like, okay, well, what die sets do I need to label? That's better. Maybe a little bit on this one here and a little bit over here. So then, like an hour goes by, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to label my new gems. Like these things right here, I like to have the name up here so I don't have to flip it over. And then it's easy when you're flipping through it. It's like 2 hours went by and here I am labeling everything, putting stuff away. And do you ever do that? It's like I get lost, or I go outside to get a flower, which I'm looking at them. Look at this. All of these fell off just in the past like minute. Isn't that pretty? I want to do maybe the next project. Like look at this one. See how it's orange, pumpkin pie and daffodil, but when you turn it over, it's Poppy Parade. How does Mother Nature do that? And this one is from the peony. I kind of don't want to put them in the garbage can. Anyhow, see, now I'm all on a different subject. Anyhow, so go outside just to get a flower for coloring purposes. Then end up, oh, wait till I hold this thing up. Then start trimming stuff. Isn't that beautiful? And then Tony's like, hey, you wanted me to spray your little things? Here, empty them, and I'll spray them. I'm like, okay. Then another hour goes by. Okay, so this one is going to be in mossy, and again, it's going to be kind of light, gentle hand. So, counterclockwise, clockwise. Okay, I think it's loaded up. Loaded up with ink. Oop, there's a little dog looking at me. There's a dog whistling through his nose at me. Okay, hold on. You want to come in. He has to check his food bowl, just in case something appeared. Okay, before I make these too dark, let me check it. Mossy Meadow. Oh, look how beautiful that is. And I like it that some areas are dark. Like right here it's dark, but then over here it's a little bit lighter. Okay, we're done with all the mask. Isn't that fun? Until we do the inside. Then we get to do it again. Okay. Let's see what else we have. And all of these papers are cut to like really basic sizes. So this is, I haven't even written them down. This is 5.5 by 8.5. I think I was just excited to do the masking and everything else is second. 5.5 by 8.5. I'll put them on my blog. This paper is part of the one with the pebbled path. It's this one. Nature Sweetness. Okay, so I'll stick that down. Okay, and next layer is the die, the postage die. Oh, we're going to do splattering today too. We're going to do it all. So postage die. Okay, and that just gets attached. And that paper was just cut to a 1/4 sheet, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And this one was cut to 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and now these are inside pieces cut to 5 1/4 by 4, and this one's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. 5 1/8, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, so now they're like, well, how are you going to get that on the front? Yeah. We have a little bit of a trick. So in the end, we want it to be, there's a particular size. Hold on. So the focal point, the white, we want it to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I could just let you at it and say, okay, just make it. But I want to be strategic on the flowers. So it's going to be smaller than this die, but I'm using this die just to kind of frame it. And that's why I have the pencil. So the size is 3.5. And at this point, I'm just going to get it close to that measurement. See what I was saying about sometimes there's a bit of waste. This is the way that there's a bit of waste. When we do the inside, that has its merits somewhat too. Okay, so I know that this is going to be too big. I'm going to have to trim it some more. Okay, so 3.5, and I think I'd rather cut off a little bit from here. Where's 3.5? Well, that worked out pretty good. Okay, 3.5 by 4 3/4. I think I'd rather cut it off from here. 4 3/4. Okay, so now it is ready to fit on the card front. But you're like, wait a minute, you have to make it vintagey. Yeah. So to do that, I'm going to take some daubers, and I'm going to do little freckle speckles on there. So the daubers are here. I have them in 3 colors, and of course I had to take time to label them. And then of course I forget doing one. So if I let myself go crazy, I'm going to get that machine going. Then I'll start labeling other stuff. It's just a vicious circle. So pecan, wild wheat, and slate. So to do that, start with, doesn't matter which one you start with. Well, let me see how much ink is on it. So Tony came in. My phone keeps on doing the motion sensor thing. He came in and he's like, what is with that front motion sensor? And I was kind of watching the dogs play, the boys talk, them doing everything on the camera. But there's a bird, and I kept on seeing like its tail just sitting there. And then it's like he's talking to his friends, and it was kind of moving a little bit. And then he'd be fluttering like like a full-on winged flutter right there. And I said, oh, there's a bird trying to make a nest up there. He's like, how do you know that? I said, I just know. But that's just because I was being nosy Nelly and kind of watching him. And so then I saw him out there and he had a big old broom. He's like, don't make a nest there. There's all kinds of trees around. You can make a nest anywhere. This one I kind of have it more centered. I don't know where the words should go. I guess it depends on what flowers look like they're kind of going upright. Okay, so I went around the edges, and now I'm just putting a little bit of distress in the field. So that was slate. So next is pecan pie. I like pie. So this one, I just put ink on the pecan pie spot, but I don't like how it's doing all those freckles. So maybe if I get some of the ink off. See, that's better. Do I dare re-ink it? Probably shouldn't. I'm going to go around the edges again. Oh, that's pretty. And when you're doing sponging or daubering, that bird, I bet you that bird is doing that again. If I hear it again, I'm going to turn on that feed. Oh, okay, so to do sponging, to get it along the edge is really soft. If you hold your paper and then go down against the edge, and maybe at an angle, you get a really soft edge. If you just re-ink it and you start doing that, it'll be really strong and kind of streaky. This one's looking pretty. Okay, pecan pie. We're good. And finally, I think this was the same thing, wild wheat. Okay, so the process to get it to look soft. When I was out there the other day, all of a sudden on my arm, I got that. Like a bird just pooped on me. Wild wheat looks like bird or baby poop. Okay, hold on. I don't see it. Maybe that bird is back. So, just trying to make it look a little bit distressed. Okay, let's do the splattering. And do the splattering first so that it could dry before you stamp your greeting on it. Because when you do the splattering, it kind of disrupts the flowers. It puts little water drops on them. And if you have your words, you don't want water drops on your words. Okay, so to do the splattering, I'm going to take an aqua painter and my snips, and I need more ink. I'm going to take it in all three colors. And I like to put it on the back side of a block, only because you could pick the ink up with your aqua painter right from the pad, but then it will leave kind of a watery, no ink area, which some people might be fine with that, but I don't like that. So, picking up some ink on here, and you could kind of see it when it's on the white paper. And wild wheat going to this corner. Ooh, you can really see that. Pecan pie. Do you like pecan pie? I'm kind of not sure if I like it or not. I like the pecans, I like the pie, but that jelly stuff, Maybe if it's really light on the jelly stuff, but generally, nah. Okay, so I'll just start with Slate from Aqua Painter. Then if you want, you could give it a squeeze, but you don't want it really super drippy. And tap. And notice how I'm pointing the Aqua Painter downward. I could see lots of water up here, but I don't really see too many drips. Too many color, too many pigmented drips. I see lots of little freckles here. Here, I'll hold this up in a minute. I'm going to do the same process with all three colors. It's kind of cool when you get the drips and they make our beautiful stenciling, masking a little bit. I think, which way should be the top? I think this way. So I'll stamp the words. I don't know. Okay, so can you see the drips? You can see the little dots. But the drips are a bit more faint, but they're bigger. Okay, on to Wild Wheat, bird stuff. Okay, and then pecan pie. I kind of want the drips to be smaller and more intense with color. Okay. Oh, we have to do that on the inside in a minute. Okay, so this is going to be up because I think that flower looks like it's up. This one's got a lot of drips on it. I went a little crazy on it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. I'll stamp the greeting on it and then distress the edges. So while this dries, I'll do the inside. Masking! Masking, that's the word. Okay, so this one is cut to size. Okay, I'm just going to turn that off. So it's cut to size. So now it might be just a little bit more challenging on the masking because the whole thing doesn't fit behind here. But I'm going to choose, I like this flower at the top. Well, maybe it'll be at the bottom. Or I could turn my paper over. Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at this flower. I want it on the inside. And I guess those flowers. So I'm going to use, I want to get the whole thing on there. If I could get more flowers, might as well. Okay, so I'm going to position it here each time. In the next mask, I could use this as a guide for placement. So, washi tape here. In here. Okay, so the first color is Petal Pink. Let's see if there's enough ink on here already. Ooh, that's looking actually kind of dark. Okay. Counterclockwise, clockwise. Get it in all those little cracks. Okay, that should be good. Then the next color is Pretty in Pink, and we're going to have to do a little bit of manual lining up. So to line it up, I'm going to look at this flower. This little mask has like a center for the flower. Got that in line. And then down here, I know that this holes go over this flower. Oh, and this one has a flower center cover. Good. Good. And all of a sudden you'll go, oh, that's where it belongs, because I don't see any white borders. Okay, so where is my tape? Here's one, and here's one. Okay, it's held in place. So pretty in pink. Let's see how much ink is on here still. I think I need more. Counterclockwise, clockwise, up and down, side to side. Oh, that's good. Still, I'm trying to keep it soft, but I definitely want it visible. I think once you start playing with it, it's like, okay, let's take a peek. Is that enough? Is that right? Could you imagine doing them in like really bright colors? Like Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, ooh, maybe the next one. And then the different bright greens, like Garden Green and Granny Apple Green, and just have it vibrant. Okay, I think that's good. So the third mask is going to be Flirty Flamingo. Looking pretty already? It's getting there. Okay, so now this one, see how there's the dot? Those are the flower centers. This one should be easy to line up. Flower centers. Bo is snoring already. And down here, flowers. Oop. Flower centers. I'm looking at these right here. The ones on the top didn't. I think it's because I've got my washi tape trying to hang on. I'm not ready for it to hang on yet. You have to wait a minute. It's so eager. It's like, let's do masking. Oh, this would be pretty in purples too. Jude, this would be pretty as blue flowers. Yeah. Last project I did, I try so hard not to do blue flowers because I always do blue flowers. She's like, where's the blue flowers? I'm like, I know. Try not to be so predictable. But then look at Mother Nature. Who would do that? Like naturally, I wouldn't come up with all that. That's incredible. Mother Nature. Mother Nature, she's wild. We're sleeping and she's out there coming up with cool color combos. Okay, trying to keep it soft. Trying. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, I didn't keep it very soft, but I think it's going to be fine. Okay, we're done with Flirty Flamingo now for the greens. The leaves. Isn't this fun? And just imagine the different color leaves. Oh, you can have like blue type leaves or gray type leaves. Yeah. Okay, so to line this one up, I'm going to take clues from here. So here's these little flowers with the petals. That kind of looks like a daisy. It kind of nests right into there. And then the same with these down here. So with that, here's these. Oh, I think I'm getting it. Okay, a good way to line it up is this little point right here covers up the flower color, so you could get the leaves right next to it. Okay, so got that one. Hold on. And this flower is covered up. Okay, that's looking good. This flower is covered up. See, I'm thinking it might be better. Is it better to trim down the paper and use the 5x7 paper, or is it better to do this kind of manual lining up? Both ways have their values. Both ways have their downfalls. Okay, Old Olive, light green, okay, let's take a peek. How's that look? Ooh, that's really pretty. I'm just going to leave it at that because this is supposed to be the inside that you're writing on. Okay, one more stencil. Okay, so this will be easy to line up because there's already greens on here. Hold on, let me get rid of these eager washi tape pieces. I think that could go there. Now these. Oh no, it might be easier to do the 5x7 sheet and then trim it. Okay, here we are. It's like the green, it just seems like it's kind of not pasty, but it creates resistance on the mask. Where the other colors, I'm just smooth flowing over them, but the greens are. Oh. Oop, it's going to be dark down there, but that's okay. Let's see how it's looking. It looks like I shifted it. Well, sure looks pretty. Sure looks like a background to me. That'll do. Okay. So now, same process. We could get rid of this tape, temporary tape. And let's use the dauber. Smoky Slain. I love Smoky Slain. And when I take the my scissors to distress this, this will get even more vintagey. Vintagey. Little distressing. And if I wrinkle the paper, that's okay. It's bonus distressing. Okay, pecan pie. Not much left on there. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. It's looking pretty distressed. Okay. And wild wheat. Okay, then a splatter. Let's do the splatter. Splatter is fun too. Ooh, loaded with ink. Okay, that'll be it. So before you put your lid on, give it a squeeze. Get all the color out of there. Because next time you use the brush, if you're doing purple flowers, you don't want to have this coming out. Okay. Done with that. This just has to dry a bit. But this one is ready to go. Okay, so to distress it, I had another scratch paper. That's okay. So, with your snips closed, use the side of your snips. And just run it along the edge. And if ever there's an area that has maybe too much pecan pie, you could just stress just a little bit harder there. And it kind of gets curled up and gone away. And if you tear the paper, that's okay. And don't do it with your snips open because you'll dull your blade. Okay, that's distressed. Is this one ready yet? Looks good. I'm going to do it over the paper because if ever you do this over your lap, you will have paper dandruff all over you. Or do it over the garbage can. Okay, we're set. Hold on. Paper dandruff. And there it is. Okay, so this gets attached on the inside. So I love wild wheat because just a little bit of it looks a lot like gold. So to put a whole gold layer to match this on the inside of the card, that gets real expensive really quick. But the wild wheat It's a good imposter. So this one is a little bit bigger than this one, so it goes right in here. And I'm going to leave the inside blank, so when the time comes I can write whatever I like. And you know, I was going for this flower being up, but it looks better this way. So at least you could write up here. It's easy to write over all of it, but I think that the flowers belong more at the bottom. And now this I'm going to put on with dimensionals, just so there's a bit of a shadow underneath it. And because the paper is so distressed, instead of 4 dimensionals, it gets 6. 6 or more. Okay, so that goes on there. See, this one has the flower at the bottom too, but I think, oh, you know what? I should have put the, okay, I should have put the words on here before I put the dimensionals. Okay, I'm nervous now. Should I do happy anniversary again? Because now I'm going to be stamping on a lumpy area. Okay, cross your fingers with me. Happy anniversary goes right here. Yay! And there's these cute little leaves too. I kind of somehow want to, maybe the next card they could go on. Those are really cute. Oh, and there's this one too. Next card. Okay, so now just embellish, and I think we're good. So I'm going to put on 5 embellishments, just because this card otherwise it's kind of flat, which is good for mailing, but I think it gives it a little pizzazz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more. 5. So that is it for today's project. In some ways it's a very simple card in my world. In other ways the masking, I think it's beautiful. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and watch for the upcoming 2 more using this bundle. They're going to be good. I just don't know it. Okay, bye.